Hi, I'm Jackie Tantillo, and this is Should Have Listened to My Mother. I always like to start off my show saying thank you to my listeners because I really appreciate everybody who listens to Should Have Listened to My Mother, including everybody who's listening in the Ventura, California area on KPPQLP, which is 104.1 FM, and it streams on the MyTuner app, as well as you can listen on capsmedia.org/radio. I'm really excited to introduce my guest for this show. It's the first time that I'll be speaking with a mother and daughter together in one episode. Actually, they kind of seem more like sisters to me, but I guess we're going to find out more in just a minute. Nadia Turner, also known as Mom, is a singer, songwriter, actor, radio, TV personality. Nadia has some new music that I believe she's released at the time of this recording, so we're going to get into that as well. And Zareh Isa, also known as Daughter, also known as Za, is 22 years old, a stylist and a singer as well. And to tie all of this in a big red bow, the two women have something very cool in common that they've done together, and I'm going to let Za explain that in just a few minutes. And I have a feeling that this is pretty indicative of their relationship of trust and admiration. So Nadia and Za, welcome to Should Have Listened to My Mother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I gave her my tone, as you could see.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you for having us, Jackie.
You're very, very welcome. It's kind of crazy, you two. American Idol is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year in 2022. And Nadia, you were the number 8 finalist on season 4, which is 2005.
Yeah.
And Za, you are going to tell us that story. But first, I want to talk a little bit about, because this is what this podcast is about. Are you who you are today because of or in spite of your mother? So Nadia, can you tell us your mom's name? And we'll talk about your experience, the role that your mother played in your life, and Za's grandmother.
Yes. My mother's name is Rosita Lopes. And she is Dutch Caribbean, and I was raised in Miami, Florida with her. She left her small island of St. Eustatius, very small island. Most have not heard of it. If you've heard of St. Martin, then you could find St. Eustatius, but it's not really a touristy kind of place. But as far as my mom goes, my mom is a very she's evolved, like the mom that I have now is not the same mom that I had growing up, like we're besties now,
Mm-hmm.
She was very, very stern. She did not mix words. She still doesn't mix words. She tells you exactly what's on her mind, whether you want to hear it or not. She's hilarious. We call her the inappropriate hot grandma. She's just, I don't know. She brings a lot of joy to everyone that she's around. And growing up, though, it was hard for me because, I was just going through adolescence as well as my own personal struggles. And my mom, she just, she was a single working mom. She worked a 9-to-5 at a electric company in the accounting department. And, I don't recall seeing her much around, during those work hours. And, but during the weekends, we did things and we spent time together. But I can recall, because I'm a single mom myself, but my job is completely night and day to hers. My daughters, they saw quite a bit of me. But my mom, as I'm older, I'm wiser now. It seems ridiculous to even complain, because now that you understand what it means to be a single mother, I hold her to such a high esteem, to know that she did it. She accomplished it. She always believed in me. Like, even when I was just like, hey, I don't know how to bowl, but I'm going to join the bowling team. And she was like, okay, well, go ahead,
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, she was always super supportive. Even if she didn't understand what I was getting involved in, because in the islands there isn't, I won't say there's not bowling, but there's no bowling alley in St. Eustatius. So for me to say I'm going to be on the bowling team was comical to an island, Dutch woman coming from a small island. At the time, I think they only had 5,000 people on it. So to be like, I'm joining the bowling team was just kind of ridiculous for her, because she didn't even understand she understood that it's an American sport. I ran track, I played soccer, all of the above, and she knows soccer. They call it football over there. But my mom was a great mom. I just want to say she did the best she could. It wasn't always easy for her. It wasn't always easy for me. Of course, I went through rebellious stages. But there's never been a time where she hasn't showed up for me. And, even in raising Zareh, she is literally Zareh's, Zareh may call her first or second mother, because she's more like a mother to Zah than I would say a grandmother, because there have been periods of time as a single mom where I needed additional help. I needed the troops to rally around me. And my mother, again, she's always showed up for me in this life.
Who was there to back her up when you were little?
My grandmother. My grandmother has passed on. She was my zen, my peace. Because again, I was, my mother was really young when she wasn't young per se when she had me, but meaning she was like, I guess maybe in her 30s, I guess, when my mom had me. But my grandmother, she's always been really quiet, really calm. She was very, very religious. And so she was always either humming hymns or reading her Bible. She was never confrontational, my grandmother. So if my mom and I got into an argument, or if my mom upset me and I didn't feel like I had an outlet to speak to, it's not like I went to my grandmother to speak to her about it. All I had to do was sit next to her. She would just sit quietly and hum, or just, sit next to me. And for some reason that moved mountains for me. So, yeah.
That's pretty powerful, not having to even speak a word. And yet she was there to soothe or calm or bring you peace. I mean, moms and daughters, moms and some, there's confrontation. I mean, my gosh, what would life be without that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, with, going back to my grandmother, her name was Esme John, and she was from the island of St. Kitts. And she raised my mom in the island of St. Eustatius. And it was a big deal. Like when I say it was a big deal, my mom leaving this island, again, I feel like I'm even exaggerating numbers. I want to say at the time my mom left, there may have been maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people on the island. So my mom leaving this tiny island that has no fast food restaurants. It's this most incredible, they call it the historic gem, and it's filled with incredible history, black volcano sand beaches. And so my mom left that to come to the U.S. and create a life for herself. She just wanted it. When people say, oh, did she go there to get something better? I don't think it was better. I think she just wanted something different than what her brothers and sisters were doing.
And she came to the U.S. to achieve that.
Because none of the other brothers and sisters had done that. They'd all gone to Holland. They'd all gone to Curacao, Aruba, and other parts of the Caribbean. But my mom was like, yeah, no, I'm going to the United States of America. And, once she got to Miami, she's like, yeah, this is it. This is where I want to be. So that was huge for her to do, so fearless.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. That takes a lot of courage and guts. And at times, I mean, no one ever plans on being, well, sometimes women plan on being a single parent. As a kid, did you ever say to yourself, I'm never being a single mom? There's no way I'm going to raise someone on my own. I'm not capable of doing that.
No.
You admired your mom as a role model.
Yeah, she is my role model. Like I always say when I grow up, Rose, her name is Rosita, but we call her Rose. I say when I grow up, Rose, I want to be just like you. But I know for my mom, that wasn't the plan because she did marry my dad, and they got a divorce when I was 2 years old. So I don't remember them even being together. I'm very close with my father, but I have no recollection of the marriage itself. I don't think when I was when I had Za that my intention was like, oh yay, I'm going to be a single mom. I believe the intention was that I was bringing a beautiful little girl into this world, and it was one of those things where I don't know if to use the word innate, but there didn't seem to be any other way. Like it was just a given. It was just a given that Za was going to be here, and that, I knew I had my family's support. My mom made it abundantly clear from right out the gate that I had her support. So it was just a given, and I couldn't have done it. I could not have done this thing called motherhood without Rose.
Now, Za, I'd like to bring you into the conversation now that you've been hearing all of this. I'm sure you've heard the stories before. I hope you know every detail, every iota of these women of the generations ahead of you, because they certainly broke the ground for us to be who we are today. When you reflect on all of this that you hear about, do you stand a couple inches taller?
Yes, I mean, my mother and my grandmother are probably my biggest idols. I mean, I literally look up to them in everything that they do, and I'm just so grateful that I had not only just one strong woman behind me, but two amazing ones. And I mean, we're a family full of women, so I've always had such amazing and powerful people in my life. When it comes to power, I mean, just always, just like my mom said, my grandmother was always, what's the word? Present. Yeah. Present. No matter what was going on. Like she went through with my mom, middle school, high school, and I got to experience the same thing. And I'm just so grateful, because it's amazing being able to say that I am I guess a spawn of these two amazing. I guess maybe spawn's not the right word, but I don't want to call myself a blessing, but but definitely grateful. I mean, I definitely do stand a lot taller because of them, especially that I have them behind me. And they were so amazing during the whole AI process and just growing up and getting me ready for something like that.
Oh, American Idol. We haven't talked about that yet.
Or artificial intelligence.
There you go. So wait, I'm curious, Za, did you know your great-grandmother?
I was born when she was around, yes, but I don't have a lot of memories. But I look back at photos, and man, I was definitely drawn to her. Yeah, I always was in her bed. But I'm very grateful to hear the things that we did all together. I was able, when I was little, to go to Statia as well. I don't remember it, but it sounded like an amazing family trip and just such a blessing.
I'm curious, because I've talked about this before on this show about our past influencing us. And this is a perfect example of how it can be so wonderful to have these beautiful, bright lights that are shown on us. And there are so many people that are less fortunate. And when you try and explain what the possibilities of the world are, they just can't fathom it. So just don't ever take advantage of it.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And you, this beautiful blossom that you are, I don't know you all that well, but what I've seen of you, you can then share of all your magic with all of your friends, and as you go forward, which is the best part.
Yes.
So I'd like to switch gears a little bit, ladies, and I think it's time we get into this American Idol thing. Both of you appeared on American Idol, so I would like you guys to share your stories, okay? How's that sound?
Definitely.
Nadia, how much do you let this AI, this American Idol experience, affect who you are today? Or is that just a thing of the past and you're someone completely different?
Well, that's a fully loaded question there, Jackie. How do I let it affect me? It has affected me. It definitely has, in good ways and in not so good ways. Because it is it's a competitive show, and I'm a very competitive person, especially I'm in the music business, and, I played sports in high school and in college. So it's in my, the competitiveness thrives within me. So in that experience, it was amazing. There was a lot of takeaways. We'll say that there was a lot of takeaways. I felt that I was green on a lot of things when I was on the show, because I'd never been on a national TV show before. And so it was all an experience, and an experience that I was able to share with Zareh, once she had told me that she wanted to be on the show, and that it was something she wanted to do. I was in full support. But the difference is that she had me, and I already had the experience. So there were things that I was going to school her on, to make sure she didn't walk away feeling some of the joy or sadness, and she was able. I also wanted her to have her own experience and it not replicate mine.
You're her teacher, right?
Exactly.
We learn, and that is a huge gift, having all that information to as one takes those steps forward. So Zod, do you want to talk about this a little bit, and how your mom was able to help you and what you actually did this surprise? Can you share with my listeners?
Yes, of course. So, I mean, it was crazy, because surprising my mom was definitely interesting. But when it came to American Idol, because she had no idea, but I knew telling her and letting her find out just about this new process this new chapter in my life was amazing, because automatically she was on board and just was so honest with me and so authentic when it came to just kind of telling me the process of it, saying it's not easy. It's not, just all rainbow and lollipops. It's a lot of work getting your voice ready. And I had the most amazing teacher for that, someone it's amazing having your mom, because you would think she's biased, but let me tell you, my mom definitely is very honest with me. And when it came to choosing the music.
But that's great.
Yeah, literally.
Because any mom can say, oh my God, you're fabulous. You're the best thing out there.
Yeah.
How
definitely.
Brilliant.
That's not my mom. I love her, but she's never been the girl to just brush things over and be like, oh, you're doing great. No, she will tell me if I need to work on something. So that was definitely just amazing to have. And even just the process of making sure I'm getting my rest, making sure just everything I needed to take care of was being taken care of. She really was just the most amazing guide when it came to this part of my life. And it was it definitely would have been such a great experience if I didn't have my mom and her knowledge.
So you surprised, just so the listeners know, I'll put the links to all of this, the video links, in my Simplecast page. But you surprised your mom when you were going to do what?
Audition in front of the judges. Yes. So it was definitely a crazy moment. One, blindfolding my mother, having to get her to trust me. That was definitely hard. But it was one amazing and hilarious. People got to really see who we are. And just our bond, our bond is amazing. I think definitely different from other mother and daughters, because I feel like we always have each other's backs. Not only that, but just honesty, it's amazing.
Nadia, could you breathe really while you were watching Zod audition? I know Lionel Richie handed you his handkerchief, but I don't think I could have been breathing if I was watching my son or daughter do that.
It was a lot. It was a lot because, people think, oh, were you nervous for Zod? I knew Zod could do it. So, but there was so many different dynamics going on. It was being back in a room and seeing the whole same production team that you saw 15 years ago, literally right there. And everybody, because so prior to walking in that room, you know, I'm reconnecting with faces that I'd not seen in 15 years in production. I am watching my daughter pretty much stand in the same spot that, you know, the American Idol circle that you stand in to perform. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I didn't just stop breathing because I was watching her or because of the emotions of that. I was also feeling emotions of the past, of my own experience. So it was a combo. It was definitely a combo, and it was pretty. I think to say surreal is even saying it lightly.
Yeah, I bet. Zah, are you glad you did it that way?
I definitely was glad. I mean, she was such an amazing help, and even it's so much stress and so much pressure when you're going into the judges, and then not, if I didn't have her after, whether or not they said yes or no, or whether or not they loved me or not, I definitely was so happy to have her, and getting the chance to have her watch my audition. That's usually never a thing. She got to be in the room right next to me. And that she experienced everything with me. And it was just so amazing. I never once did I feel alone, a part of this process.
You felt proud. Both of you, I'm assuming, must have felt very proud of each other.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
So the takeaway now, as we're moving forward, are you going to continue singing, Zah?
Yes, I will. So I actually just put out music not too long ago, 2 amazing songs that my mother helped me write and work on with. And again, that's another amazing thing, having your mom write music for you and with you and just know who you are. You know, it's great because we're so similar. I mean, even our voices, you can't really tell us apart.
And Nadia, you're, if I'm correct, Under My Wing. Turner helped you work with you, your co-writer?
Yeah, Turner is my creative partner, and he helped me to write songs with Zareh. Those songs are streaming on all digital platforms. One song is called "Hit It."
I'm Not Ready for Love,
and the other song we wrote with Zah is, goodness gracious,
You Do Something to Me.
Thank you so much.
I was waiting. I was like, huh? We did that one together.
Yeah, You Do Something to Me. Thank you. And then Under My Wing was a Mother's Day, song that we did in the living room. You could tell that it's at its rough stages. That we haven't actually recorded it in the studio. We're in the process of doing that. But it was, something that was kind of thrown together. And I'm like, okay, we need to tweak this bridge, or okay, Turner, we love this. And then, we were all like, hey, we should record this. And with Mother's Day, we had actually recorded this quite some time ago. But with Mother's Day, it seems to be a pretty hot topic, the Under My Wing, because it talks about the relationship of a mother and daughter, from the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the growth that happens within these relationships.
Yeah, I think I jotted down some of the lyrics. They may not be 100% accurate, but right or wrong, come what may, time to finally let go. Let that baby find her way. Wow.
And that's that. Those are things that are hard for me as a mom. I can't speak for Zah, but there's times where I have to just step back and let her either just do what she needs to do for her own growth, let her either make her mistakes, or either let her make her the things that are just going to be awesome for her in this life. It's one thing if she needs my opinion, but I want her to also know that, it has to also, I think of my own mom again, because I keep reflecting. I'm just in a place right now where I find myself so present, especially with my youngest daughter as well, and being an older mom than I was with Zah. I was in college when I had Zareh, and my mindset is so different. It's so different now versus then. The things that were important to me then are not important to me now. Like I really do see the honor in motherhood. It's not that I didn't see it before, but it was just easy to know that I had my mom. My mom's going to help me. I was just really young and dumb. If I'm going to be transparent, in my early 20s, I was really young and dumb. And I don't know if I felt a lot of self-worth for myself, but where I'm at right now, I'm not young and dumb. And having an 11-year-old daughter, and seeing just the difference in my own development as a parent. And I know Zah sees it as well, because it's her younger sister. She sees that I'm definitely a different mom. I'm a more patient mother. I'm less judgmental. I listen more. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but
no, absolutely. And of course, someone at 21, it's 22, in your 20s, having your first child as a single mom, that's overwhelming and scary.
Yeah.
Hopefully we learn, whether it's, by the time your first to your last child, but also it's with time, with age, we just become more grounded and more aware, and we realize what's important in life too.
And I think that's exactly what you're saying. I'm in a place in my life that I understand what's important. Like the things that used to upset me then do not upset me now. I've always, if Zareh needs me or if Kai needs me, I'm always there. There's no hesitation, but there's a feeling of grounded. I think that key word that you used earlier, and it's I'm not at my full center of peace, but I know I'm closer than I've ever been before. And it's such a beautiful place to be.
That's wonderful. Hopefully we can everyone listening can find that centered part. Now, Zareh, how do you feel about your mom being way more relaxed raising your younger sister than you?
You know what? Honestly,
fair.
I wish I would have came through a little bit with me, but I'm just so grateful that I'm also a part of, my little sister, I guess growing up.
You could let her know I was a bit of
She was very tough on me.
I was strict. I was very, very strict.
But I'm not going to lie. I used to think it was so tough just growing up because she was so hard on me. And, but now I look back at it, and at some point it didn't hit me for so long that she did that because she wanted to make sure I never had to learn either the hard way. And if I did, it set me the right direction. She always made sure that I was learning something, whether I was making a mistake, whether I was doing the right thing, but I was always learning from whatever I was doing, whatever decisions I was making.
Yeah, if you're given everything you want from the get-go, life turns out very differently. So kudos to good old mom and all single moms. And I'm really excited to hear where your future brings you, Zareh. I think it's really exciting, and you have a wonderful partnership between you two, a mother-daughter relationship for support and love, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, I am. I'm so grateful. I really am.
And Nadia, please keep us all up to date on what you're up to, your music for both of you, and
yes.
And
Rosita? To share. Yeah, some of the music that also for myself and my band, it's called Nadia and the Sun Kings. That music is out now on all streaming platforms, and it's not spelled sun with S-U-N, it's S-O-N. Just in case anybody's typing it in, they're like, why is this not coming up? So Nadia Turner and the Sun Kings. I also have music that I recorded with Chester Thompson, on a previous album with Bob Babbitt, Chester Thompson. Chester Thompson is Frank Zappa's drummer. Bob Babbitt, who's passed on, the legendary Bob Babbitt, one of the original Funk Brothers. He's also playing on that album. It's a Nadia Turner album. And I do rock music. So anybody who likes, I call it roots rock. If you're into that, it's the Allman Brothers are my inspiration. Prince,
good
the
one.
Doors, yeah. So those, I'm a rock chick through and through. So just really passionate. So that's really what you're going to hear if you type in on all streaming platforms Nadia Turner or Nadia Turner and the Sun Kings, And yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, ladies. Nadia Turner and Zareh Isa. Thank you for joining me on Should Have Listened to My Mother.
Thank you for having us.
Let's stop it. I killed her. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you guys are great. And we'll be back next week with another episode of Should Have Listened to My Mother.